Hello friends, it's Kim Passable. I am here today. This is an unusual kind of thing, but I'm doing like sort of an unboxing. It's a product review for the Remington I-light Ultra Face and Body. Here's the box. I kept the box. I've actually had this for about 6, maybe 8 months. Now, Remington makes several models of the I-light. At the time that I purchased this, I didn't look again today, but at the time that I purchased this, see, Ultra Face and Body, the Ultra was the high-end model. It was the most expensive. But I was looking at, the cost of electrolysis, and at over $100 an hour for electrolysis. I thought, well, this would be worth a try. And the Ultra is the only one that's approved for like face. The others say they're only for body hairs. I don't really know what the difference in functionality is, but this is the model that's approved for face. And so it's not approved for male facial hair, but I'm a woman, so and let me tell you, honey, approved or not, let's try it, right? Yeah, so it is a nice sturdy box, very fancy. I thought, oh man, I paid $100 just for this stupid box. But anyways, the packaging is recycled cardboard. It's very sturdy and thick. You see what it's like, a crush-proof box. You can jump up and down in this thing, smash it. It came with instruction manuals and all the parts. It came with lens cleaners, and multiple lenses. So I'm going to show you the unit. It attaches to a standard 110 volt power outlet here in the United States, as you would expect. And here it is. It's 2 parts. This thing's delicate, so I gotta use 2 hands here. So here it plugs into the wall, on-off switch, and then there's about a 6-foot cord from the base unit to the actual functional flashy unit. Okay, so the base unit has a couple of functions. When you turn it on with the switch, you can hear it has a fan, and it immediately starts to beep, and there's this little flashy light, and it wants to see that you have an appropriate compatible skin type. And since it does use light, it only works on dark hair and fair skin. So if you have darker skin, what will happen is the skin will absorb too much of the light, and the light won't reach into kill the hair follicle, is what it's supposed to do, and you'll burn yourself. So you don't want to use it, it only works for fair skinned people. I'm sorry. I have burned myself with it, so I do not advise you using it if it won't improve your skin tone. Anyways, it wants to see your wrist. And you don't want to use this when you have like a tan, even a fake tan. You can burn your skin because it'll absorb too much of the energy. So the time you want to use this is like January, when you have not been outside for like months and months and you are as pale as a ghost. That is the best time to use this because the most energy will get to the hair follicles. Anyways, so you hold your wrist in front of this little flashy thing. It reads, as long as it says you're go. Now, before you want to start flashing, these little lights, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little light bulbs and a button here. This indicates the strength. Now, you could start at this like low end one and see what it feels like. It feels like someone's shocking you with fire. It stings. And as you go higher, it stings more. But I have found that the lower settings doesn't kill the hair. So, once I was done experimenting, I just always set it to the highest setting. And it's like Paxil Wallop. And the denser the hair is, the more hairs there are in the little space that you're hitting with the light, the more it stings. It really stings. If you have dark hair and it's like a lot of it all at once, it's like, wow! Especially like on your neck where it's really sensitive. Oh my goodness. And if the hairs are really dense. Whew. But, you know. Okay, so, I'm past that. I mean, you better be ready. It's gonna sting. If you're a sissy, well, maybe you are a sissy. I don't know, my friend is a sissy and like she hated it. So, anyways, it's just pain, you know. Electrolysis hurts too, and I've heard laser hurts too. So, this is like the cheap thing that you can do at home, and it was somewhere between $500 to $600. I found an online discount code, and I got like $60 off. That might have been 12 or 15% off of it. So I did get a little bit of a discount, and I think shipping was included. So it was somewhere above $500. So the reason I said that it's delicate, right? So in there's a xenon flash bulb. That's like 10,000 flashes, which is a lot. But if you drop it and you don't have to break the glass, but if you shatter the xenon filament, it won't flash anymore. You won't get your 10,000 flashes, and it's like $100 just for that bulb. So at 10,000 flashes, or the first time you drop that when it's hot, because it's going to be more fragile when it's hot, you're going to have to invest another $100, or it's going to be a paperweight. So yeah, you got to be gentle. You got to be careful with it. I always make sure it's not simple, because there's two different cords coming out of it, and this is stretched across the room. I am like forever being careful that like I don't set it someplace unless it's like all the way onto a table. I make sure the cord is up and out of the way, and eventually it's gonna get me. I know it's gonna get me because I'm a klutz, and I'm gonna get my leg wrapped around it. Okay, now the other thing that this unit comes with, right, because it's approved for facial hair, right? It comes with two lenses, and you could see one lens is bigger and the other is smaller. The smaller one is for your face. I don't know what the difference is aside from one being bigger and one being smaller. I don't know if one is more intense, like they're coated probably to block certain the burning kinds of UV, I would guess. But what do I know? I just know it says to put this one on when you're doing your face and this one when you're doing your body. The other thing that this has, right, is it has the safety feature. It has a button on this side of the lens and a button on this side of the lens, buttons on either side. So when you put it against your skin, you have to be pushing both buttons, and hear that little chirp. If you're not pushing both of the buttons down, it will not flash. So that's to prevent you from being like cattywampus or from flashing yourself in the face. So sometimes when you're in an awkward place on your face, it's not really pushing the buttons right. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think that's good because you don't want to be like too crooked and then like flash yourself in your eyes. And a lot of times I end up closing my eyes in between, like when I push the button. It's got a great big button labeled with a star. Beep, 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 beep. It says Remington, branded real nice, Remington. And I have seen substitutes of these on like Amazon and other things like that range from like $70 to $150. Now, that's a lot cheaper. And like I gotta wonder, like, well, where is the extra money going? Is it all in the branding, testing, and approval in the United States, or is it that this wire is so much thicker than the wire that they're? And then this unit has a decent power supply built into it, right? So, is the other one too low of a power to be effective? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you about this one so that you can make a judgment based on that. Because I worry that one that it's a cheap knockoff of this kind of thing, and I just don't know if it will work. Now, if you have the right kind of hair, maybe it will. That's the other feature. Oh, hi Jeff. Jeff's home. I'm in the middle of a video. That's the other feature it has, is if you don't flash for a certain amount of time, it goes back into the mode where it needs you to tell it if you're pale enough to use it. So you have to hold your wrist again on the base unit. It checks you out. It says you're okay. And then it tricks you into turning the power back down. See how there's only 1 star illuminated? There have been a couple times where it did that to me before I started because I was trying to get everything ready. And then flash did like a big area because it takes some time to flash. There's a pause in between each one while the power supply energizes itself fully. And so I zapped myself over and over again at the low power, and it really had no effect. It still hurts though, but it hurts less. That's one way you might notice that you have it set on the wrong power. So I'm going to press this button a couple times, turn it way up. The other thing we're going to do is, since we're going to work on my face, there's a button on this side and a button on this side, and it takes off the lens, which sets the base down. I didn't like that. I didn't know that was going to happen. Okay, and then you take the other and you push it on there, and there it's ready to go. Now it needs me to prove that I'm pale enough again. So I just use my wrist over top of the little sensor. Once again, I'm going to have to turn it up to 5 stars, and then I'm going to start zapping. And so I've got a little bit of dark growth. I shaved last night. It's pretty short. You want it to be short. You do not want hairs like protruding or visible really, but you don't want to pluck because the root's got to be in the follicle or else it's not going to heat up. So you want the hair short, but you got to have roots. Okay, so you're going to put it where you want it, line it up best you can. I'm going right to the center right of my upper lip. I close my eyes. It just zaps a little. I made it look worse than it was. That chirp means it's ready to go again. The instructions indicate that you should not overlap. So, how do you not overlap? I don't know, just try and space it. Do your best. I haven't ever really hurt myself with overlap, but I have double zapped and burned myself like blisters. So, don't do that. Tattoo, don't do that. You will burn yourself. You will get a blister, and it's uncomfortable. It takes like a week to grow out, so, and you could give yourself like skin cancer. So it just feels really hot. And then, so the hair doesn't come out instantly. It's slowly, the follicle or the skin kind of pushes it out. So you still basically have to shave because over the next couple of days it's going to get longer and longer. So you can't really tell that it worked or didn't work right away. But you might smell a little bit of burning hair. You are going to dull your razor. Because it's like running it through, I don't know, something. The hair is much coarser because it's burned. So yeah, it's going to dull your razor really fast. You'll feel a difference when you're shaving. You're probably going to want to put some lotion on it. But it doesn't hurt. Like it stings for a couple minutes. Like it has a dull kind of burning feeling, like you got a sunburn. but it doesn't. It's just the initial, like, while you get packed, like, feels like somebody touched you with something really hot for a second. I'm gonna hit my lower lip because I'm at it right this second. You want to be careful getting too close to your lips because they're probably more pigmented. And you want to be careful about when you first shave, your skin is really red and irritated, and I don't think you want to use it as much then. You want, it'll be calm. So, how does it work? Not how does it work, but how well does it work? One thing I didn't mention as well is you can hear the noise it's making. It has a fan inside of it because the flash bulb does get really hot. And it continues to run the fan because the bulb will pop if it gets too hot. So it needs to continuously run the fan, so you don't want to like put anything over it. You don't want to block the flow of air. And if you're using it like continuously on a big area, that little squares at a time, it can take some time and it'll get really hot. So be patient with it and allow it to cool. It'll go into that mode where it's like sleep mode, where it's beeping at you again, and then you can shut it off because you know it's safe to turn it off. Okay, so how does it work? It killed my sideburns. The first time I used it on my sideburns, I noticed that they went from like full sideburns. I could grow them in, and they looked. They were They were there. And so the first time I used them on my side, from about here to where I stopped up here, it was kind of gone. I still get stray hairs, but that's supposed to happen anyways, and I've never really gone back and done them again because the hairs haven't come back enough to worry about it. My upper lip, I saw a big change after the first couple times I used it. It does say that it may take, you're supposed to use it and wait 2 weeks and then use it and then wait 2 weeks and then use it. And by the time I did that, my upper lip had diminished in hair so much that I never have had any electrolysis on my upper lip. And now it is getting a little bit dark again. So that's why I hit it today. I haven't hit it in probably 4 months. My chin, I never saw any amount of hair diminish from my chin. Over here on the sides, my jaws, I did notice a difference, but I've still had the electrolysis technician take out like the biggest, like thickest hairs. And I've been on hormones this entire time, so I've noticed that my body hair has softened and lightened, but not my chin and my neck. And my neck hair doesn't seem, it stings all the heck. It seems, you think, boy, it's got to have killed that, but it seems to just come right back. So my testosterone is down. I was hoping. I'm not seeing so much luck. So on a facial hair, maybe give it 5 out of 10. I would have spent a fortune if I had to have electrolysis on my sideburns, right? It worked on that part of my face, and it worked some on my upper lip, but it did not work on my chin or my neck beard. So, 50-50. Now, do I feel like they misled me in the advertising? No. It said it wasn't approved for male facial hair, and it sure doesn't work on it. So, and my electrolysis technician, she's very smart, and when I talked to her about it, she sort of said, well, yeah, laser doesn't work very good on hair on, dense hair on a chin, and even electrolysis, it's been several months, and I'm going to have to go in and get some more treatments. Now, the rest of my body, the hair has softened and lightened because of hormones. My legs, my arms especially, my stomach. I have used the I-light everywhere. I mean everywhere, top to bottom, front to back, anywhere you can imagine. I mean, you don't gotta ask in the comments. I have flashed it all, honey. If the hair is too long, it will set it on fire. So make sure the hair is as gone as you can make it reasonably. It does not seem to work on like pubic hair. It just doesn't seem to work. Like I hit it over and over again. It just comes back just as dark and just as thick as ever. Now, I had hair growing on my knuckles, and I really hated that. I thought that was really gross. And so I've hit them multiple times, and what has happened on my knuckles is that the hair that does come back is transparent. It has no color whatsoever. So it kills the dark hairs or kills the follicles off in such a way that they don't really create any pigment anymore. I don't really know. It's time to turn it on. Good, I was sick of hearing that. And Jeff turned the radio on even though I'm trying to record. But there are my arms. It seems like it's lightened quite a bit, but that seems to also be hormones. My armpits. Ow! Oh, it really stings. Like an awful sunburn on your armpits. And it only at the edges, like at the bottom, you know, because it's really hairy here and it sort of tapers off, and the same going up. The bottom and the top, it seemed like it had quite a bit of effect, so there's less hairy area now, but in the middle, it's still hairy. And I've hit it multiple times, like multiple times, and it just doesn't seem to be working on that hair. Same with the pubic hair area. My belly, I have streaks where I didn't overlap, where the hair grows more, and then, but it's a big area, so it's very difficult to get every little inch of it perfectly without overlapping or leaving spaces. But it's not 100% effective. Now, like I've tried with like, trying to stretch the skin so it penetrates deeper, and that seems to work better, but it's harder to do accurately. You know, almost like drawing a grid on there or something like that to really get it perfect, because the head is so big, but the flashy area is so small, so it's kind of hard to line it up exactly how you want. It does seem to have some effect, and since I don't have the money for laser or electrolysis on my whole body, I keep working on it. Do I recommend it? Well, if you have a trans friend or two, I think that you could like pitch in and get one and like all share it. Be careful, don't drop it. Only someone that you trust. And I wouldn't lend it to your friend unless they have some skin in the game and know that if the bulb burns out while it's in their possession, they have to pay for it. But to buy it all for yourself, I guess if you have the money, yeah. Oh yeah. Because you can do as much as you feel like doing in between electrolysis sessions. But if you're tight on money, maybe try and share one with a friend. Maybe even a woman friend, because I have a feeling that it would be more, it seems the lighter the hair is in the first place, and by light I mean like the thickness of the actual hair, and the darker, it seems like the better it works on me. I wonder if a woman, a cis woman who already has very light hair and never had testosterone encouraging her hair follicles to grow, that it might work on like her whole body. So like if you have a girlfriend, you know, the two of you could get some use out of it, something like that. And I think it would definitely be something that you're interested at that point. I hope the sound came out good. I talked for a lot longer than I had planned, but that is my review, and thanks for watching.